under fading skies. Tattered flags waving dreams in our eyes. The crowds roar like a storm on the wind. We're the underdogs fighting again.
What's up, everyone, and welcome to the MLS Playoff live stream doubleheader with the first of the conference finals together away. It is Inter Miami hosting NYCFC as the Eastern Conference will draw first blood in this one. And of course, this is an absolute dynamite matchup, and we're about to get into it. But before we do, make sure you hit the like and subscribe buttons and also the notification bell so you do not miss out on any Stateside Footy's upcoming content. And damn it, man, let me tell you, I'm excited for this one because let's be perfectly honest, this is the first time I've ever tried to attempt something like this in one night. Generally speaking, the live stream usually is only one, but obviously since the conference finals are tonight, I'm electing to go both. I'm attempting to double dip, both with the Eastern Conference and, of course, the Western Conference. And I'm also banking on the fact that there's no extra time and one doesn't bleed into the other. So listen, man, cross your fingers that we're about to be able to make both kickoffs actually happen. But, of course, tonight we start off with the Eastern Conference and, of course, Inter Miami. And, of course, this is a team that we're pretty much familiar with. And, of course, last weekend in Cincinnati, we're absolutely dominant to a point where, listen, man, I was proven wrong. And I'll be the first one to admit it because usually when it comes to these playoffs, it usually favors the home team. But that being said, it almost feels like Inter Miami is, essentially, road tested or playoff resistant to the point where they can pretty much just win anywhere. And tonight, from the standpoint, they're going to be playing what we have seen throughout the course of not only these playoffs but also the regular season. And of course, they're lining up in a 4-3-3 today. In goal will be Novo again, and he's really solidified that this goalkeeping position after taking over the starting spot. And he's certainly been solid. Obviously, the back four again, starting from the left side, will be Jordi Alba. The center back pairing today will be Allen and Falcone with Cello off the right hand side. A midfield three of Rodriguez, Busquets, and of course Rodrigo de Paul. And then an attacking three is Silvetti, Messi, and Allende. And of course, this is a team that is pretty much firing on all cylinders. And of course, the fact that they don't need to play Luis Suarez pretty much says everything that you need to know. And from that standpoint, man, let me tell you, this is going to take a fairly big effort from NYCFC. And of course, I think a lot of people were assuming that Philadelphia was going to roll over NYCFC. And of course, they get the the 24th minute goal from Maxi Morales. And of course, their defense holds on and, pitches a clean sheet on the road in the playoffs. And I guess that just kind of shows you exactly, what NYCFC has pivoted to into these playoffs, and of course led by U.S. #1 Matt Freese. And so, speaking of NYCFC, let's go ahead and get into it because this is their starting lineup tonight. And of course, it looks like they're lined up in a 4-4-2. But that being said, let me just go ahead and double check real quick, because obviously Fernandez is not going to be a part of this one. But that being said, it looks like they are lined up with Nico and Morales. Thiago Martins is wearing the captain's band with O'Neill, O'Toole, Gray, Ojeda, Shore, Gustavo, Freese, and Hawk. And of course, the center back pairing of Martins and Hawk is going to be pivotal to this one. And I also kind of like their fullback play as well too. Really, the question is going to be not only defensive shape for NYCFC, but also who's going to be able to get forward and score goals. Because one of the things that this team absolutely has to do in order to get past Inter Miami is do the impossible, which is, are you going to commit to man marking Leo Messi? Because that's what's going to have to happen in order for NYCFC to pull this one off, right? If they are able to stay defensively resolute, clogging some passing lanes, but also at least stopping for a good portion of this game of Inter Miami being direct, because usually that's the focal point, right? Is being direct between Rodrigo de Paul, Sergio Busquets, and Messi, and then the distribution either out wide left or wide right. We saw this against Inter Miami for large stretches. They were hitting that overlap left, whether it's Jordi Alba or whether it was Silvestri off that left side, and all of a sudden you get free shots on the net, and you're not going to be able to win too many matches doing that. So from that standpoint, the question is are they going to be able to NYCFC, especially the back line, to keep that width and not allow these overlapping runners? Are you going to be committed, especially when you look at the center of the park and who's going to be responsible? It looks like it's going to be Shore and O'Toole to be able to at least commit to not only staying in front of Messi, but also essentially did what Seattle did in the League's Cup, which is essentially try to mark him out as much as you possibly can and not allow him to be so goddamn dangerous. And if that can happen, maybe NYCFC is going to be able to get forward enough, put enough pressure on Novo, get a goal or two, and maybe they can advance. But if not, this has a potential to be another 3-4 goal explosion for Inter Miami. And I think a lot of people are pretty much expecting that to happen. And of course, we are getting pretty close to the start of this one. As everything that points to this one, I would probably assume we're talking Inter Miami is probably going to end up in MLS Cup. And I don't think that would be too much of a stretch to expect it. But one of the things that I like about this matchup is the fact that NYCFC is completely overlooked in this one. Everybody just assumes that, Miami is going to control the tempo of this game. They're going to control most of the possession, and NYCFC is going to be on the back foot, going to be pinned back into their own territory. And this is going to be essentially like a shooting gallery. But that being said, these are the type of teams that I like too, when they're pretty much written off and their ability, to essentially come together and do something that otherwise most people wouldn't expect they would be able to do. And that's the thing I like about this. In the back of my mind, it's like, I'm expecting Miami to win this one too, but I don't want to write off NYCFC because, too many times, especially in this playoffs, I think that a lot of people actually have written them off, and they have done a very good job to prove people wrong. Let's go ahead and take a look at how these two teams got here into these conference finals. And of course, NYCFC got their start against Charlotte in essentially the first round of the playoffs. And of course, they ended up winning that series 2-1. And of course, they were able to get a shootout win, I believe, in the first one, and they took care of business in the third one to advance. And of course, then they get the Philadelphia Union, and again, you're talking about a Philadelphia Union team that was absolutely dynamite in the regular season. Correct me if I'm wrong. And maybe, yeah, they won the Supporter Shield. 20 wins, just a dynamite goal differential. Absolutely fantastic at home. And again, you're in this situation where you're the 5th seed, and you go into Philadelphia and you actually handle your business. And so from that standpoint, that's actually quite impressive as far as I'm concerned too, because, I think a lot of people thought that Charlotte was going to be able to handle their business. And most people expected Philadelphia to be playing Miami in this situation. And that's not the case. Speaking of Miami, they were the 3rd seed, matched up against Nashville in the first one. And of course they win their first game 3-0. Nashville handles their business at home for game number 2. But again, switching back to Miami, they were able to advance. And then, then it's 2 versus 3 in the conference quarterfinals. Cincinnati actually has the advantage because they're playing at home in front of their supporters. And Miami rolls 4-0. And not only did they roll, but they actually made it look easy, especially in the second half, where it looked like Cincinnati's defense literally just stopped trying. And so now you're in this position where it's 3 versus 5. And when I look at this one, Ace, here's the thing. I understand, man. I get it. You're a Miami supporter. I want to be positive for your sake, but here's the thing, man. I'm not going to write off NYCFC because they have so far in this playoffs, they have done a very good job to get to this point. And again, if they can do the impossible, which is figure out a way to limit the damage of what Messi is going to be able to do, if they can disrupt the passing lanes in the middle of the pitch and stop Miami from being direct, they're going to have an opportunity. But that means they're going to have to be physical. And they're going to have to potentially be uncomfortable in order to get themselves forward, to be in a position where they're going to be able to score goals. And this is also going to be a match for a guy like Maxi Morales. But that's the thing. It's like you would probably expect that Miami's defense is going to key in on that. So somebody else is going to have to step up to provide the goals. If they can do that, we have a match. If not, Miami is going to be able to roll, and they have more than one weapon that are at their disposal. And oh, by the way, they don't even have to rely on Luis Suarez. That's how good they are. And again, they like to play direct. And a part of me thinks that this might be just a shooting fish in a barrel. I don't know why I can't speak English. But that being said, it's like I think I'm with you on this one too. I want to see a great match, and the last thing I want to see for a conference final is a match like we saw in the quarterfinals. So we are getting pretty good. We're getting pretty close, excuse me. Let me tell you, man, I'm excited for this one too because, again, man, a part of me just, I don't want to write them off. I just can't do it because, NYCFC is, they're here for a reason. I think they have two straight clean sheets to their name, and they've been doing it they've been doing it outside of Yankee Stadium. And so for me, man, that's what gets me excited about this one, right? Are they up for it? Man, that I love conference finals. Quickly, let's see. Ace says Miami's is already making history by making it just this far. Let me ask you a question real quick, Ace, and be honest here. Is it Inter Miami, or have they gotten some help along the way? I think you know what I'm asking you. I think you know what I'm asking. We're talking about Major League Soccer. We know that Miami's the poster child of this league. And I have to ask the question. I'm not accusing anybody of anything. I'm just asking you. Is this somewhat by design? That's all I'm saying. Before we get started on this, the first leg of our MLS playoff live stream, it's also worth reminding that in the second live stream tonight, San Diego FC, of course, the number 1 seed in the West, will host the 2nd seed Vancouver. And of course, if you remember, those teams tied in the regular season on points. And of course, San Diego, their first season in Major League Soccer has been just a resounding success for them. They're hosting a very good Vancouver team. And of course, last week we saw Vancouver advance past LAFC. And so now all of a sudden they have to travel down to San Diego to take on FC. And the interesting thing about this matchup is, for me at least, in context of this, is this going to be a little too much for San Diego? And of course, they're now in uncharted territory for a first-year team. And Mike Ibarras can say whatever he wants, but the reality is, now all of a sudden, the pressure kind of ramps up, and it's the pressure, believe it or not, is not even close to being on Vancouver's shoulders. It's on San Diego's shoulders. They're the ones that actually have to prove it, right? They're the one that has to legitimize this inaugural season. And if they're up for the task, I would say that, Miami versus San Diego or NYCFC versus San Diego would be a pretty good final. But that being said, a big part of me actually believes that Vancouver is the team that actually are going to be in a situation where I think this plays incredibly well into their hands. Very good road team this year. And of course, when you talk about balance, as far as what they bring to the table, I would probably assume that Vancouver probably holds that edge, because they can burn you in more ways than one, right? Where San Diego, I hate to be the one to say it, right? As much as I love Andreas Dreyer, big fan of Dreyer, my San Diego has been one-dimensional. But that being said, their one dimension has been absolutely lethal. And they, and the way that they move that ball in order to, to set him up has been brilliant. I'm not going to take anything away from it, but I don't know. A big part of me thinks that the pressure resides with them, right? There's a way that there's a certain thing where you actually have to legitimize it, especially if you're a first-year team, right? You're the ones that actually have to prove that this wasn't a fluke, that you are actually as good as you think you are. We have Nino Vela 3721 who says NYCFC to win 3-0, strength decision, pressure hard, go goal, go goal. Listen, I love this, man. I love this, and I'm glad that we have some NYCFC fans up in this house. Here's the thing: as much as I love Ace, man, and listen, man, Ace is my guy. Got a lot of respect for that guy. I simply just refuse to root for Miami, and if they make it there, they make it there. Fantastic. It is what it is. But I like the underdog teams, man. I'm the one that has always been there for the plucky underdogs. And when you look at the body of work of NYCFC, those are the things that, I don't know, man. There's a big part of me that actually think that would be a better story for an MLS Cup than Inter Miami, who, whether you like it or not, they're kind of like the New York Yankees, man. They're the evil empire as far as I'm concerned. So I love seeing CFNs up in here. Ace goes on to say, that's a good question. I would like to say no, but by the way that they are playing, and they have been on fire as of late, especially against Cincinnati. So if we see another amazing performance, yeah, I would probably assume that you might be right on that too, because there is also a little bit of that as well too. In legitimizing Inter Miami as well too. So we are getting very, very, very goddamn close to kickoff, and it looks like players are on their way out of the tunnel here. And he goes on to say that might crush those allegations. Well, the thing about this is I look at patterns, right? And covering Inter Miami for a good portion of the season with these live streams, and of course, it swings hard in both areas, because obviously I did a lot of Seattle Sounder live streams this year, and same thing with Inter Miami. But you start knowing patterns, right? And you see the way that refs tend to call. Like when I was actually at Chase Field live when the Sounders were down there, the interesting thing was the pattern in which they were getting calls, and they were getting ticky-tack calls, which drastically switched the momentum of that game. Don't get me wrong, Seattle was gas. They were going to win that game regardless. But, when you see some of these calls, some of these ticky-tacky calls where you see the other way around where, Miami will should actually get called for a call and they don't, but then something happens on the other end where it's literally just, not even worth the whistle. You're getting it. It tends to change the momentum. And that pattern literally was around pretty much for the most of the season. And so that's what it begs the question. And I'm not trying to take away from their accomplishments this year. They're here for a reason, obviously. And so from that standpoint, of course, if they have the same type of result tonight as they did against FC Cincinnati, it legitimizes it as far as I'm concerned. But, again, I have to ask. So it looks like the players are out. And it looks like the fireworks are up. And we're getting very close to first kick here. As looks like the national anthem is being sung right now. So we're about a good minute and a half away from the start of this one. So quick prediction from you guys. How do you see this going? Do you guys feel like this is going to be Inter Miami walk-in, like this is going to be like a 2-4 goal type of affair for Inter Miami, where NYCFC struggles in possession, struggles to get up the pitch? Is that what you see this game being? And if so, give me your predictions. Or do you see this being do you see NYCFC putting in a good performance and potentially pulling off the upset? So go ahead and let me know what your score prediction is. I will give you mine right now, and I think this is going to be a good game. I don't think NYCFC is going to back down. I think they understand exactly what they're going to have to do in order to win this one. Again, in Miami, packed house. I don't think this is going to be a 3-4 goal effort. If anything, I think it's going to be 2-1 Inter, maybe 3-1. And there's Ace right there. He says 3-1 Miami. That being said, could I see this thing finishing at 2-2? I probably could as well too. And it certainly wouldn't surprise me. For me, at least, it's going to be, if Maxi Morales is their only shooter for NYCFC, somebody else is going to have to step up, because Miami, defensively speaking, they are very good. And we saw what they did against FC Cincinnati and Nashville previously, right? They were able to take away Sami Zuric. They were able to take away Denke as well too for FC Cincinnati, and the way that they marked out Evander as well too, it was brilliant. So from that standpoint, yeah, man, they can do it, right? So who else is going to be that guy to step up for NYCFC? And if they don't, then it's going to be an NYCFC. I'll just say it's going to be a blowout. We have Ricky, the diehard sports fans. Inter Miami is going to win. Fair enough. It says, I'm rooting for Inter Miami. I want to see Messi win another trophy. Again, fair. I appreciate that. Quickly, before we get started, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button and hit the notification bell, because this is just the first leg tonight of the MLS live stream doubleheader. After this one, it is the Western Conference as San Diego hosts Vancouver as well too. So make sure you hit the like and subscribe buttons. And of course, we have Nino Vella says NYCFC 3-0. That would be absolutely amazing. That would be absolutely amazing if that ended up happening, and I'd be all for it as well too. All right, so looks like we're coming back off a break, and in just a second, I will give you the odds for this one tonight, and of course, that's looks like that's courtesy of DraftKings Sportsbook. You wear the crown. Ugh. All right, so the win probabilities tonight for this one: Inter Miami at a 62.7%. They are a -200. NYCFC 17.6%, a +425, and the draw is at 19.7%, which is a +340. So the draw has better odds than NYCFC according to DraftKings. Looks like we are about ready to go. That's funny. That's great. MLS Liga. And it looks like Jonathan Johnson is going to be in the VAR booth, and we are ready to go. And there's your boy Messi. God, I hate those kids, man. Those Miami kids, man. The two-tone pink. Yeah, not a fan. And it looks like it looks like a packed house at Chase Field down there in Fort Lauderdale, which is an old high school football stadium, by the way. As we are ready to go here. And it looks like Miami's ready to go. Looks like NYCFC is ready to go. Miami will control possession. They're playing from right to left as Messi gets this thing underway. And it's Sergio Busquets. And this ball gets played down to Allen here. And here's Rodriguez. As that ball gets played all the way back to Novo. And now it is Falcone. And there's a switch to the left-hand side. And it looks like there's a lot of moisture on that grass down there. As that ball gets played in. And back it goes to Falcone. And now all of a sudden, it's down to Jordi Alba on the left-hand side. And so far, Miami has yet to cross the halfway line here. As Falcone will play it over to Allen. Here's Jordi Alba. And that's taken away. Here comes NYCFC. Oh, nice play by Sergio Busquets. And it's Rodriguez who will go centrally. DePaul will play it all the way out. Here's Alande. Plays it in. All the way out to Jordi Alba off the left-hand side. Alba. And there's Matt Freeze. As that's something that NYCFC is going to have to afford. It's that backdoor overlap off the left-hand side. And you can see that NYC, I guess, did a fair job of keeping shape. But that being said, you can't give Jordi Alba any space like that. Dude, his cross is deadly, and there's a turnover right there off the left-hand touch line. Oh, nice. Here's Maxi Morales. That's going to be bopped away by Sergio Busquets, but there is a whistle right there. As play resumes here, as that will get played all the way back to Freeze. As the ball is going to go between Hawk and as that ball gets played all the way forward, but there's nobody there except for Novo. As that exchange between Hawk and Martins pretty much went nowhere. So the only play was to play it up, and possession will switch hands here. As here's Falcone. Good press by NYCFC. Here's Allen. And he's going to play forward. And it's Silvestri. And that ball gets out. Silvestri's a good player, man. No doubt about it. As that ball is going to be a throw-in from Jordi Alba. It's going to be interesting because Miami moves the ball very well. But the other thing that I like about Miami is the fact that they're very good under pressure. They don't make mistakes, or at least they don't make a lot of mistakes. In order to beat them, you got to play them straight up as that ball gets out. And this will be an NYCFC throw. As here we go. As that will come in. Looks like it's going to be to Shore. And Miami presses. And that's actually going to ricochet off. If they would have just let that go, that's a Miami throw-in. But instead, it gets out. So it looks like Gray will be responsible for this throw-in as they play this one out. And that's a good ball forward. It looks like it's going to be, he's got space, play into the box, and that's just going to be too heavy as that gets out. Does that look like it was, looks like that might have been Fernandez right there as he was looking for Maxi Morales. And it looks like NYCFC. It looks like they're kind of playing in a 5-3-2 as Miami will restart here, as that ball will get played all the way up. And quickly. And it's the captain. As they will move this all the way over. Nice little touch right there as they're going to try to turn upfield. As Maxi Morales will play it to Fernandez. That's a good through ball. It's Ojeda. Ojeda crosses. Ooh, and there's nobody there. As it looks like Falcone goes chasing after it with Maxi Morales trailing behind. Now Alande tries to head it into the middle, and it's going to be Shore here. As that ball gets tipped away, as Maxi Morales was on the ball right there. As that ball plays back to Novo. And now all of a sudden NYCFC is doing a very good job as Rodriguez gets that ball, his back pocket pissed. Here's Shore. And Miami will reset off the right-hand side as Gray will play it back. As that ball will get played deep. Nice little play right there. Good play by NYC to keep it in. Looks like it's Ojeda. Plays it in. And Miami with a very good job of just closing down the lane right there. He had a channel there for a minute. And that was it. So NYCFC has to reset here. As Miami has essentially two resolute lines of four here. Defensively, they are very, very good. As they're going to try to reset here. As O'Toole. And here, look at how good Miami presses here as they push them all the way back to Matt Freeze. But now the middle of the park is open, and here comes NYCFC. It's Ojeda around the corner. As Gray will play one in. Oh, and cleared away. Looks like that was Jordi Alba. And it's Cello against Morales. Coming in as Alande to make a touch. Now it's Falcone. And now it's Jordi Alba. NYCFC pretty good defensively, and especially in their counter press here. Pretty good. Here's Rodriguez. Nothing doing. And it's Jordi Alba. And now they're going to play it across. And it's Messi. Messi's going to try to make a touch, but he goes down. Play resumes. And Messi stays down. Tip forward. Ball in. Oh, terrible. There was nobody else. There's the switch now to the right side. It's Ojeda. As it looks like Messi's finally getting up. And now looks like there's a whistle here. As we see it again, Messi just makes a hard touch, and it was O'Neal right there. And apparently Messi's trying to sell an elbow. And, yeah, I don't think so, bud. Not at all. Oh, I completely agree. On the referee, I feel like some calls do feel like it's one-sided, but you see how many of the times we play. Oh yeah, dude. By and large, the refereeing is just absolutely terrible. Absolutely, like that's the downfall of Major League Soccer. Is the pro refs are just horrible. Here's Ojeda now on the right-hand touchline. Nice through balls. He's going to try to get Fernandez. And they're going to say offsides? Really? Okay. Point in case right there, Ace. As that ball is going to get shot forward, it'll bounce to Gray here, and NYCFC will hold possession here. So, through the first 10 minutes, it really has been NYCFC actually controlling the ball quite nicely. They're not giving away. They're not necessarily giving away. By the way, NYCFC is 7-2-4 all time. This year, I think they have 3 wins this season down at Chase Stadium. So for that standpoint, good to know. Good to know. As that ball gets played back to Falcone, and he swings it around. As Rodrigo De Paul. That ball's going to switch, and it's Jordi Alba. Here's Rodriguez. Here's Messi. Yeah, that's going to be a free kick right there against Nico. Yeah, you should have known if you're going to get crossed in the feet with Messi, he's going to get that call. Happens to be the right call, by the way, as Messi goes down. So Messi will have a free kick in a dangerous area. As we see, just moves the ball. Oh, man. It's funny because I actually saw a video of how many times Messi will just move the ball to situate himself. You know what I mean? Like he'll put it down and then pick it up and just move it. That's funny. So Messi will have the free kick. Here's the chip in, and right at Nat Freeze. As that was Silvetti. That was a good delivery, by the way, from very good delivery right there from Messi. Just kind of a terrible finish right there from Silvetti. As Rodriguez will tap this out, this will be an NYCFC throw-in right here. First opportunity really to do something for Inter Miami goes to Nod as Nico will pop this one up in Falcone. We'll try to head it down. Here's Rodrigo De Paul. He will lay this off to Cello. Miami tries to reset. De Paul will play it back to Falcone. Here's Allen now, and he's got space down the left-hand side. Beats a man. And he'll play this back. Here's Falcone. As they reset. Here's De Paul. Plays it in. Oh, nice touch. Good defense right there by NYCFC. And now all of a sudden this will go out. It's Maxi Morales who hits the turf. And that ball forward is going to be cleared up by Allen. Good defense from NYCFC closing down a lane, but there's a ball right over the top. Oh, and Miami takes the lead. What a goal. What a goal. And it's Alande. Oh, and I thought for a second there, home dude was going to get back into position. That was a good ball over the top. And, of course, Alande had the angle on Matt Freeze, and it looks like he goes short side. And Miami strikes first. So we have Ricky referees in the NBA and the NFL make sketchy, questionable calls too. Yeah, I agree. There it is. And it looked like maybe there might be a recovery right there, but Alande just beats him to the outside as we see this again. And it felt like there may have been an opportunity right there from Gusto, but he goes short side and just beats Matt Freeze. And by the way, that is your U.S. number 1, getting beat short side. Oh, come on, Matt. You can't do that. Alande from the start of yeah. Agreed. Alande's been great. And Miami quickly wins possession back. Here's Rodriguez down the left-hand touchline. Good defense right there by Gray. Alande gets Miami on the board first. 15 minutes in. And NYCFC has to respond here. Ooh. Yeah, that's going to be a foul against Jordi Alba. Dude, you can't lead with your shoulder in like that. Good call. Yeah. Dude, you literally just lead with your shoulder. That's going to get whistled every single time. What are you arguing about, dude? It'll be an NYCFC free kick as Jordi Alba's upset that he tried to goon it up right there. His play resumes as the ball goes back to Matt Freeze. And here comes NYCFC now. Up the left-hand side. Nice little dish right here. And they're going to try to play it forward. Ooh, that's going to get out. I think this is a corner here for NYCFC. Good defense right there by Miami as they were trying to, it looks like they were trying to play Shore up. Here's O'Toole, plays it back. Here's Shore. Swings it around to the right-hand side. Here's Ojeda. 1v1 against Alba. There's nothing there. He's got to play this one back. And it's O'Toole. And that's taken away. Oh, but kept in by Maxey. Bummer. Here comes Miami. Ooh, good hustle right there by Jordi Alba. Keeps it in possession for Miami. So if Miami should win this one, they will host the MLS Cup. And if NYCFC happens to pull this one out, the winner in the Western Conference will host. Oh, nice play right there by Gray as he shoots one down. And Ojeda couldn't control that one as that ball goes out. As it was, looks like it was Nico trying to play it forward to Ojeda off the right-hand touchline. So this will be a Miami throw-in. It will be Jordi freaking Alba. Nice little flip back to Sergio. Miami seems to be playing like a well-oiled machine, unfortunately for NYCFC fans here. Here's Alba playing it forward. It's going to be Rodriguez down to Silvetti, 1v1. Good footwork right there by Silvetti. Nice turn right here, and he's got the corner. There's a ball in to the backside. Gets past Messi. Good hustle right there. Looks like it was Cello. Here's Messi. Ball in, tipped away, kept in. Here's Alonde. And this is finally handled by NYCFC. And it looks like, yeah, there's going to be a whistle right there. And it looks like it goes against Cello. So NYCFC gets a breather. And we'll have the free kick here. And we're back underway. This has actually been quite the entertaining match, and there's a whistle now. And it's going to go back the other way as Falcone is rolling on the ground, and it looks like Maxi Morales will get the yellow card. And Morales is saying that Falcone was pulling at the back of the jersey. I can buy it. Falcone's a punk. As we see it again, he's pulling at the back of the jersey. Yeah, Morales kind of gives him the elbow there. Yeah. I get it. It was a good call. Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I'm kind of with you on this one, Ace. Front runners. As they looks like the camera is pointing to the Fort Lauderdale dime pieces out there, huh? Interesting. And now there's a brouhaha. Now it looks like Messi's getting involved. As looks like, wow, it looks like it looks like Cello. And it looks like Sergio Busquets is trying to keep them apart. There is some emotion here. As we are in the 21st minute now. As the ref actually has to do his job. And there is going to be a yellow card right here for Cello. And rightfully so. And now, so Miami starts the brouhaha, gets the yellow, and they're trying to argue their way out of it. Yeah, okay. And now Messi and Maxi Morales are having words. Messi's like, do you know who runs this league? As there's a ball into the box right there. Ooh! Oh, and Miami just scored again. Oh, what a goal. Was that Alonde again off the header? Yes, it was. Right off the restart, Miami scores again. And just like that, it's 2-0 Miami. Look at Alonde. Let's see. 100% Ricky. Yeah, you're happy, Ace. As Miami, off the restart, finds Alonde in the channel. As we see it again, here's the restart. It swings out. It's Jordi Alba again in space, makes a touch, and then Alba just puts one in. Between the channels, it's Alonde. And he just puts a great header on it. And NYCFC just loses focus. Just like that. And you can't. This is what happens when you switch off even for a quick second. That's exactly what happens as Miami now extends their lead 2-0. Yeah, that's exactly how they play, man. It's just mind games. You know, that's how they play. As here we are, the restart here with NYCFC down 2-0 now. As there's a whistle. And it looks like it's going to go against Allen right here. So Alonde's got a first half brace. We're 25 minutes in. Nice defense right there. Taken away. Ooh, there's another foul right there. And it looks like Jordi Alba. Dude, come on, man. Yeah, there you go. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. Yeah, the call actually goes against you. And now you're going to sit here and roll around? Yeah, the call's against you. And now you're faking injury, dude. Dude, seriously, this is the reason why I want yellow cards in this situation. Dude, it's just Bush League. I'm tired of the flopping, man. This is just terrible. As this will be an NYCFC free kick. Yeah, there you go, Jordy. It's just a waste of time, man. Yeah, it looks like the hand isn't hurting after all, bud. So this will be an NYCFC free kick, as Messi has something to say to the ref as well, too. Here's the ball in. Headed on. That'll go to the other side of the box, and now the ball's going to get cleared. But right here is NYCFC to keep it in. Here's Shore. Plays it up. It's Ojeda. 1v2. He's got to play this one back. Here's Ojeda. Ball forward. That's going to be way, way, way too far forward. That'll get out for a goal kick. Unfortunately, I don't see a path forward for NYCFC. Down 2 already. Let's see. Oh, yeah, no, I see it in every game as well, too. I don't like it. I don't like it, dude. Flopping needs to be eradicated, man. It wastes time, but it's like, dude, this isn't acting. As Falcone comes in and makes a tough tackle, but play is continuing. Here comes NYCFC now. Ball forward. Nice ball. Nice. That's a good shot, but that's an even better save right there by Novo. So NYCFC gets their first shot on net, really. Not exactly from an advantageous position, but that being said, good positioning right there to hold the ball in. As play resumes, here's Jordi Alba. And he's going to try to chip it over. Taken away by NYCFC. Is you got to move the ball quickly against Miami. They are so good at tracking space. Point in case. They just close down quickly on the ball. That is the difference between both sides right here. Is that Miami will essentially run their nuts off, close down space, apply pressure, and force you into bad decisions. As that ball goes up the left-hand side, try to get tipped forward. That'll go out for a throw, and NYCFC will quickly play it in. Like the space just shrinks every single time the ball moves. Two pink jerseys move with the ball. Space gets closed down, and now you're forced to make a decision. As that ball gets tipped out, it'll stay with NYCFC. Good ball movement right there by Nico. Here's O'Toole. And they're going to have to play this one back. As Matt Freeze will come out. As NYCFC resets here. Now look at Salvetti just giving chase. And there's Messi closing in on the ball. Turned over. In space. As that ball gets popped up off the deflection. And now it's cleared. Oh, as Nico literally just body slams Falcone to the turf. Oh, that was awesome. As he just grabs him, hooks him by the arm, and just flips him right over his back. 150%. That was awesome. Good call. 100% that's a yellow card. That probably should. I don't know, man. That was deliberate. Here's the ball that gets played in, and Allen's gonna go back and play this one back to Novo. You can sense the frustration from NYCFC. And it's just sloppy. There's just no sense of urgency. They're just allowing Miami just to close the space on them. There's a whistle right there against Falcone. Play resets here as NYCFC will play it back now. There's a good ball forward off the half turn. Plays it out left. There's just nowhere to go with the ball here. And there's just play it back, and that just plays right into the way Miami wants to defend. It's actually quite amazing to watch this. They just can't get forward. Nearly taken away. As they have to play this one back to Matt Freeze. As we're approaching minute 33 here, Miami leads 2-0. 2 goals by Alande. As and they're gonna call this one against Allen, and he's gonna get a yellow here. As we see this one again. Oh, I think it's for the keeping his right foot out there. So 2 of Miami's back 4 are now sitting on yellows here in the first half. Allen and Cello both have yellows. So this will be a long free kick here for New York City. Well, I was sure wrong about this. Miami just has so many ways that they can kill you. As there's the ball into the box. And that'll completely get away. Not exactly the greatest delivery, as it was easy for Sergio Busquets to simply just box him out right there. Obviously, MLS Cup will be played on December 6th. Coverage starts at 1 o'clock Eastern. And, of course, MLS Cup will be live here on Stateside Footy. Yeah. Oh, without a doubt, man. Without a doubt, Ace. You couldn't be. You're 100% right about that. You're getting greedy there, Ricky. The way that Miami's playing, they're going to be able to make this 2-goal lead stand. Here's DePaul, and it's Messi. As he'll play it up the right-hand side. Here's Cello. He's going to play this forward to Rodrigo DePaul. Chipped in, kept in. Here's Cello. That ball's going to take a deflection out. As this will be a goal kick. Yeah, just the numbers that Miami just commits to getting forward is just impressive. There's, 5 in the box? As that one will take a deflection, it'll go out. NYCFC will have the throw in here off the right-hand touchline. Like I don't necessarily think it matters unless NYCFC drastically changes it up. I think this 2-goal lead actually is going to hold. That's got to be against Rodriguez, dude. He just shoves him right out of the way. This will be a free kick for NYCFC in a pretty dangerous area. Like he leads with his knee, pushes forward, and it looks like Maxi Morales will hit the deck. Yeah, no, 100%. That's a whistle against Rodriguez. So looks like it'll be Nico and Morales sitting over this one. And there's the ball into the box. Headed forth, and it's a goal. Woo! And NYCFC gets one back here in the 36th minute. And I believe that was Hawk. Woo! What a headed goal right there. Good positioning as well, too, to get that one back. That was a good delivery, too, by Morales, and he puts it in a very good position. Right there, camp between 2 defenders. Good goal right there by NYCFC, and they get one back. Massive goal for NYCFC. Ooh. Yeah, and he just beats Novo. Good goal as play resumes. It'll be Inter Miami. It'll be Allen. He's going to try to make the switch to the right-hand side to Alande. As that one will get out, it'll be a Miami throw-in as it goes off Busto there. As this will come in. Good little chip forward, headed forward. And Miami will control, though. As that goes over to Noah. Noah Allen plays it back to Falcone. And now Miami has space to move forward. Down the left-hand side. That's a good ball over the top. Looking for Jordi Alba, who plays one in. Headed back out. Rodriguez will hold it in. And that'll land at the foot of Rodrigo DePaul. Here's Messi. Plays it over to Rodriguez. And that'll be Rodrigo DePaul. Dribbles in. Tries to play it all the way around. Nice move by Cello. Keeps it in. Has to play it back to Paul. That's going to take a deflection. Here comes NYC. Oh, good positioning right there by Falcone. Taking away the inside portion. It allows Miami to regain possession. Novo quickly will play it back out. So good. It's the little things that impress me. Listen, I don't have to like Inter Miami to respect the way that they play. Here comes Rodriguez flashing down the left side. It's just the little things that they do so well. Here's DePaul. Here's Alba. There's a ball forward. Silvetti. Leaves it short for Rodriguez. Here's Busquets. Messi. Good touch right there by Messi. DePaul will play it over. Here's Cello. Into the box. Good deflection. And NYC clears it. Again, it's those overlapping runners in space that is creating so much danger for NYC's defense. And it'll get out to Falcone as he swings it back to Allen now. And now it's Alba. Chips it forward, finds Silvetti as that gets all the way back. As Miami will reset here. Oh, nice whoop. That's a nice play by Ojeda to take it away. And now NYC tries to break. Here's Ojeda down the right side, 1v1. Oh, nice play right there. Nice play. I think that was Noah Allen right there. To take it away from Ojeda. Now it's Rodrigo DePaul on the break. Swings it all the way out. Here's Messi. Plays it forward. Oh, what a pass. There's Matt Freeze. Maybe a little too far forward that allowed Freeze to come out and make that play. Good decision right there by Messi. Oh, wow. Sergio Busquets. And Miami just takes it right back away. As we are approaching the 42nd minute, 3 minutes away from half. And there's a chip forward. Oh, brilliant play. It's Alande. Oh, good deflection. And now Silvetti will come out to take it. As that's going to get tipped out, it'll be a Miami throw-in. Good Lord, man. They are just working their cocks off. It's impressive. As we're approaching minute 43 here. 2 minutes to the half. We'll probably get about a minute, maybe two of added time. Here's Messi. It looks like Cello's going to have to play it back to Busquets. Oh, nice play right there to Paul. Leaves it for Messi. Now Rodriguez has got space. As he plays it out to Rodrigo DePaul. Here's Messi. Turns in traffic, chips it over. And that's going to get played out right there by Ojeda. So this will be a Miami corner from the left-hand side. As Ojeda sniffed it out, as there was Jordi Alba coming off the left-hand side. There you go. Smart. Good defense right there by New York City. But now Messi will be taking this corner here. Here's Messi. That'll go far. Headed back. And that gets played all the way back. And they'll have to reset here. Here's DePaul. As Messi's corner actually, that wasn't exactly the greatest corner as it essentially played itself all the way out of its box. But Miami holds possession as it finds Jordi Alba, and immediately he plays it back to Allen. Here's Busquets as he'll chip it out to the right to find Falcone. As Miami's just looking for an entry. There looks like there is one right there. Here's Jordi Alba, but it's taken away quickly. Good defense right there by Silvetti, but there is a whistle. And I was actually wrong. 6 minutes of added time here at the end of first half. 6 minutes, huh? I guess I'm trying to figure out where the 6 minutes came from. All right. As there's a good ball right here down the left-hand side. As that's going to get tipped out right there. Looks like it was DePaul right there. So this will be an NYCFC throw-in as play is resumed here. As that ball goes all the way out to the right. And again, this is just exactly how Miami plays. They'll press you into mistakes, and sure enough, there was a mistake, and all of a sudden now the ball swings back to Miami's possession, and Falcone will try to chip it. It'll come down. Nice play right here. Tipped away by Busquets, and there's a whistle. As Rodriguez will hit the turf right there. That'll go against Shore. As they're re-showing the New York City's goal right there. That was actually a huge goal. And if City can keep it at 2-1 to the break, they'll look good. As there is a whistle against Rodriguez. As Ojeda is down rolling around. Again, not a big fan of flopping. As it looks like Rodriguez kind of just stepped on the foot of Ojeda right there. Yeah, but he looks like he's fine. Yeah. As we're now approaching the 48th minute, so 3 more minutes of added time here. As New York will have possession, as that ball gets played back all the way to Freeze. New York will try to reset here as they play it out to the left. As Messi gives chase. There you go, bud. There you go. Tries to find Maxi right there. That's going to go out, and that's going to stay NYCFC ball right there as it was last touched by Falcone. As they quickly try to play this one in. But again, Miami's doing a very good job of pressuring the ball. It's a concerted effort. They do a very good job. Here comes Nico now. In space, tries to play it forward. Tipped away right there by Allen. And now DePaul will hit the turf. As that'll go against NYCFC, and it was looks like that was on Nico. So Miami will have possession here as we're approaching minute 49. 2 minutes left of added time. As we restart play here on the left-hand side with Allen. as that goes back to Falcone, who swings it over to Cello. The one thing that we're not seeing from NYCFC is that resistance. They're just allowing Miami to hold possession back, and there's a play to the outside. Here's DePaul, leaves it off for Messi. Messi will tip it off all the way up to Jordi Alba, and he slips, so that goes out. Miami did a good job within the first 15 minutes of actually applying pressure and making it somewhat difficult for Miami. And then they stopped doing it. Willing to allow Miami to hold pressure, and we saw exactly what that happened. As Miami scored twice, as that ball will go off. And it'll be a New York throw in here as we are coming down to the end of the first half. And that's the difference between the two sides, among other things, is the fact that Miami is actively trying to create turnovers, and they're doing a very good job. Here's Jordi Alba. Here's Messi, and that ball's just a little too far forward. Saved by Busquets. Alba, Silvetti tipped out, and that'll go off at Thiago Martins and out for a Miami corner. And that's the thing. It's like New York has to get back to at least making it far more difficult for Miami to get up to push up the pitch, because they're just able to hold the ball and get forward with ease. And when New York gets the ball, tries to counter, then Miami just presses the ball automatically. And New York can't even get up on a counterattack. Here's DePaul, swings one in. And there's the end of the first half, with Miami leading 2-1. 2 goals by Allende. As Ricky, the diehard sports fan, says, Inter Miami needs to get that goal back. Nino Vela says, New York City win. Reaction. Yep. And then A says, Jordi Alba rolling took 6 minutes. Yeah, right. 100%. So let's go ahead and get it to the halftime stats here. As Miami controlled the possession battle 53-47. They also lead the XG battle 0.45 to 0.16. Total shots, Miami 5, NYCFC 3. Shots on target, 3-2 Miami. Big chances, 2-1 Miami. And, of course, they also missed a big chance. Accurate passes, 288 to 196 to Miami. Fouls, Miami 10, NYCFC 7. And, of course, Miami also leads the corner battle 2-0. Shots inside the box, Miami 4 and New York 3. Total passes, 258 Miami, 226 New York. Passes in their own half, 121 to 111 Miami. Passes in the opposition half, 107-85. Accurate long balls, 10-5 Miami. Accurate crosses, 3-2 Miami. Touches in the opposition box, 17-3. And again, that pretty much shows where Miami's, where Miami is controlling the bulk of their possession. Yellow cards, it's even at 2-2. Tackles from a defensive side, Miami 9 and New York 7. Interceptions are even at 2. Clearances, New York 9, Miami 4. Keeper saves is 1-1. Duels, Miami leads that one 20-19. Ground duels are even at 18, but the aerial duels, Miami leads by 1-2-1, and successful dribbles 2-1 as well too. And again, when you're looking at the first half in totality, I think you saw on display what makes Miami good, and it's not the mind games, although as impressive as that is, because it really is. The fact that they manufacture That's funny, Ace. That's funny. As cool as it was to see Miami manufacture a beef in order to get under the head of NYCFC in the first play after that breaks up. Jordi Alba is free on the left-hand side, and there's nobody around within 20 feet, maybe even 30, and then there's a chip, and it's Alande chilling in a channel, and the ball was just pinpoint, and he puts it in the back of the net. And it almost seemed like it was by design to disrupt and get Miami out of their own New York out of their own headspace to take a 2-0 lead. And at that point, you're just kind of wondering, because everything to that point, New York started off strong, and then literally with 15 minutes into it, they stop doing what at that point was giving them a little bit of a psychological advantage. They were actually taking it to Miami. They were pressing. They were disrupting, the middle of the pitch, and they were controlling a good portion of the possession. And then all of a sudden, Alande, scores the first goal on the counter, and then they just stopped doing it. And then from that point on, Miami's controlling the bulk of the possession, and they're literally just walking it into New York's half to a point where you're just kind of like, well, you kind of get exactly what you deserve at that point. But the one thing I did like was the fact that New York were able to get one back and at least have some semblance of a match that looks like it's somewhat competitive. But that being said, for New York, they're going to have to play this last 45. The old expressions, "Damn the torpedoes." They're just going to have to take it to them, and essentially let the chips land where they may. Because at this stage, I'm fully expecting Miami to probably roll in this one. Because if they get another one, this thing is over. So Miami's going to have to start this thing, start the second half on the front foot, and just at least do whatever they can to get forward. What I will say that I like about what New York is doing defensively, because outside the 2 goals, they have actually done a very good job of defending the top of the 18-yard box. And if you notice, Messi really has not been really involved in that first half. This was really just play down the right-hand side, trying to use overlapping between Cello and Alande. And of course, Alande gets the first goal, which actually was a beautiful angle, and they played it in perfectly. But that being said, that's kind of where this game is kind of being won, is down that right-hand side. And so for the most part, I'll give credit to New York. I mean, they're doing a good job against Messi. But again, it's not just on one side of the pitch. It's what you're going to do on the other side. And right now, Miami holds all the cards. So we're going to see exactly if there's going to be a tactical change, or if there's going to be a player swap for New York at the half, or if they're going to continue to roll. But that being said, there's going to have to be an attitude adjustment, because, again, Miami scores 1. This thing is over. Let's see. Ace says Miami just knows how to play without the ball. It's that aggressive Argentinian style of football. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, they're comfortable without the ball. But again, what's so funny about it is, like, dude, that team just runs. And that's the thing. It's like you kind of have to respect it. I'll give you a good example, right? Like in the Premier League, the teams that actually find themselves at the top of the Premier League are the teams that actually run the most, that are aggressive without the ball, and that is what Miami have done exceptionally well throughout these playoffs. He goes on to say that I feel like Cello and Allen are getting subbed off. Why do you think that? Cello has found himself in very good positions in that first half. As a matter of fact, that overlap between him and Lalonde has worked incredibly well. So from that standpoint, it's like I would be curious to know why you think they're going to get subbed off. Oh yeah, yellow cards. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that in the 60th minute, though. Like, I don't think this is going to be something that, you're going to take off at half because you're worried about, them not being available for a final, right? You probably think that maybe, yeah, I guess so. I guess it makes sense. You'd have to have supreme confidence that you're going to be able to win this match, right? Because it's only a 1 goal differential right now, right? So, for instance, if you take off Allen and Cello, you're giving areas of the pitch where NYCFC can exploit it. That's that is the reality, right? So you're opening the door for a little bit more direct football, or them actually trying to bump and chase down that right hand side. So I don't know, man. I think maybe you start the second half those two in, and if you're continuously controlling the possession, maybe around the 60th minute you might be able to do that to keep them ready for it. But I don't know, man. You would have to be supremely confident that you're going to win this match. Here's Ricky says, yeah, it's over for NYCFC if Miami scores the 1 goal in the second half. Yeah. I still think it almost might be game on too. Them getting one back when they did, and then being able to hold up down the stretch in that first. I feel like it's game on. It's going to be how New York is going to react at the start of the second half, without a doubt. Yeah, that's a good point. I forgot about Frey. Yeah, Frey did a very good job against Cincinnati. Frey is usually, Frey's on the right. Yeah, fair enough. I like that. As we are getting close to the start of the second half, the interesting thing is New York's ability to counter, because we have seen at times them getting turnovers in the middle of the park, and then it not necessarily leading to anything, because you can see where they're trying to attack, but then again, as soon as that ball gets turned over, you see pink jerseys everywhere, right? So there's just not a lot space for them to operate. But that being said, they were able to get good positions deep, and they were able to get free kicks, right? So my mind goes to that, because from the run of play, man, I don't know, man. I don't know if it's going to be there. For a big part of me actually feels like if that's going to happen, if they're going to get back into this, it's going to be on set pieces. But yeah, I don't know, man. This is a tricky second half. I think for Miami, it's continuing to do what they did. And again, man, this is it's something where I feel like they've done a good job in possession, and their movement, their IQ, and their ability to move the ball in between and weave into the central parts of the area, and then also being able to play out. Me personally, I look at the second half not necessarily as an oversight, but that being said, I don't know, man. Yeah, that's the thing, Ace. It's like, how long will it be until NYCFC gets maybe a little too comfortable and stops necessarily, keeping an eye out for Messi, and then all of a sudden the second half, just the floodgates open. That's what I'm worried about as far as New York is concerned. But that being said, it's like, on the other side of the ball, it's like I feel like the only way they're going to be able to equalize is coming from set pieces, right? Because as we've seen, like even when they've done a good job defensively, and then off the half turn they try to move it forward, there's fucking three pink jerseys, swarming the ball, and then of course they're trapped and the ball moves backwards, and it plays right back into Miami's hand again, and now all of a sudden New York can't get up the pitch, right? So, from that standpoint, I'm just like, yeah. And then in the back of your mind, just exactly what you said. It's like Messi, they did a good job against Messi in the first half, and it's like, that's the thing. It's like eventually he's going to find space. Oh, How do I feel about the ref in the first half? Good question. I actually thought it was a pretty solid. I think it's actually been a pretty solid ref first half. There hasn't really been anything egregious I can think of. You can see that frustration was coming over New York, and I think a couple of those calls were 100%. Now that being said, it's like where I found it funny was the flopping. Right, that was don't get me wrong. Those calls were actually. Those calls were actually correct. But that being said, it's like the flopping. You're wondering whether or not there's going to be an errant yellow card for wasted time. That's kind of where I'm leaning at right now. But that being said, it's like I think it was what Jordi Alba had two different calls go against him. The first one was when he led with his shoulder and then got upset, but it was the right call. And then the second one in Miami's own half. That gave away a free kick right there, and again, it was the right call. That was the play where he was rolling around on the ground, acting like his hand broke. But that being said, it's like I think it's actually been pretty square. This isn't your typical MLS match where the refereeing is just absolutely dog shit. Let's see. Ricky, the diehard sports fan, says, imagine if the world has to watch yet another rematch between France and Argentina in the World Cup Finals next year. How crazy will that be? So I take it you're not a fan of France or Argentina? Yeah. And that's the thing, right? I feel the exact same thing. It's as an athlete, you have to be embarrassed by this, right? It's one thing trying to potentially sell it to get a whistle fair, but when you're rolling around on the ground acting like you got shot, that's where it becomes ridiculous to me. And it's up to the refs just to be like, no, we're not doing that, here's a yellow. And the refs actually do have the decision to do that, but as far as I'm concerned, I think it actually takes away from the game in more than one way. And if you're an athlete that's doing this, man, yeah. You respect French and Argentina. Yeah, I do too. I've never really been a fan of either. I was happy when Argentina won Copa, and then they followed it up with a World Cup win. That was nice to see. I think it was earned for a team like Argentina. I've never been a fan of France at all. But that being said, I do respect their ability to develop, because if you remember, I think France didn't even qualify for Euro 84. Barely qualified in 88, but went out quick. Didn't qualify for Euro 92. And, that was an era of French football where, they weren't necessarily, producing good players. And then all of a sudden in the 90s, they created that French soccer factory. And by World Cup 98, they were actually absolutely dominant. Not to mention they actually appointed the right head coach that actually put together the right team. And so from that standpoint, I definitely remember World Cup 98. They were absolutely terrific. But that being said, listen, I am an American. So you know exactly where my loyalties stand. It's to the point where in World Cup 2018, when we didn't qualify, I had no love for the remaining CONCACAF nations. I just won't do it. That's just the way it is, right? So if I have to pick some favorites outside the United States, I'm a big fan of the Netherlands. I love Dutch football, and I've always been a fan of Dutch football. And I'm kind of partial to Scotland as well too. And I'm very happy that Scotland got in this year. I don't know if this is off topic, but yeah, dude. Tyler Adams, scoring from the circle. And by the way, it was just a beautiful chip shot volley in a perfect location where Roofs couldn't make the save. And that was a beautiful goal, but Sunderland came back. All right, we begin the second half here. And it looks like NYCFC will have possession here, and it looks like they also made a change as well too, and we'll have that change for you in just a second. As they're going to try to play this down the right-hand side, that's going to get out, and it'll be a Miami throw-in. Let's see if we have the change here for you. And it looks like, it looks like Hannes Wolf has come in, and it looks like Shore has come off. So it looks as if New York now is going to have 3 attackers to the top with Morales, Wolf, and Nico Fernandez. Oh, there was a turnover right there. Oh, Maxi Morales. You bum. You got to take that shot, Maxi. So that ball's going to fly up the pitch right here off the reset. There was a good turnover right there, and New York actually could have drawn this game even, but Maxi Morales instead decided to chip it over instead of taking a shot right there. As now Miami is going to press the ball like usual. As that ball swings out over to the right here. Here's Gray. He's going to have to launch this one forward. Oh, here we go. Oh, yeah, that's a foul right there. Oh, and they're going to say that's against. Oh, they're going to say that was against. Oh, Nico. As we see it again. Yeah. Oh, I don't know about that. Allen grabbed all jersey. Oh, that was a bad call right there. And it looked like maybe they caught Nico right there for the I guess maybe the hand around the head. But Allen grabbed jersey and just drug him down. I don't know about that. I think that's probably like the first egregious missed call right there, but whatever. But it looks like Luis Suarez is getting up now, getting ready to go. As again, man, they're just panning to these Fort Lauderdale hotties. I don't know, man. I'm not a big fan of blonde chicks. As that ball will work its way down, and that's going to work its way out. I thought it might be a foul against Thiago Martins right there against Silvetti, but the ball gets out. So this would be a throw-in. And now Rodrigo De Paula has an issue with the linesman right there by not calling it. As that ball gets played in, Cello makes a nice little touch right here to Paul. Miami does a good job of holding it in as that swings all the way to Jordi Alba. Ball in. Headed. Oh, and it goes wide. Alande missed his hat trick right there. And again, that's the dangerous aspect right there, is giving Jordi Alba an opportunity right there. Oh, and Alande missed it. Good ball in too. Accurate. And Alande was right there. And again, Alande camped right perfectly in the channels. Oh, heartbreaker. That was it to put it away. As we are 51.5 minutes in to this one. 6 minutes into the second half. That's a good pass right there. There's space for New York. Ball gets played forward. Here's Hannes Wolf. Yeah, there's going to be a whistle. Good call right there. 100%. You can't block. You can't impede the runner's inside position right there with your knee. So this will be a free kick here. And it'll be Morales, and it looks like Nico standing over this free kick. And again, good position for New York City. Off the left-hand touchline. A good 45 yards out. And we'll see exactly if New York is going to actually get some decent runners into a good area. Here we go. Ball in. Back post. Oh, it hits off the crossbar and it comes down. Oh, and Novo's down now too. As we see this again, this was a good ball to the back post. Oh, and he chipped it too far out, too far up. Oh, perfect positioning. Oh, how do you miss an open net? Oh. Yeah, Italy's crap. As NYCFC just had their opportunity to equalize, as that chip rings off the crossbar and then automatically cleared. Miami still leads 2-1. And players restarted, as that's going to be all the way to Cello. Plays it forward, good pass to Sergio. Here's Messi. Good ball forward. It's Rodriguez with space. Here's Rodrigo de Paul. Plays it back, as Busquets will lay it off to Allen here. And that's going to be taken away by NYC. And that ball's going to shoot all the way back. And so this will be a goal kick for Matt Freese. 2 consecutive opportunities, one for each, as Alande misses his hat trick. And then on the very next sequence, NYCFC rings one off the crossbar. So the score remains 2-1 here, as we're approaching minute 55. This has actually turned out to be a very, very exciting matchup here. As New York has shown they're willing to get up for this one. Here's DePaul after the takeaway. That's a good tip right there. But Miami will hold possession. Rodriguez forward. As Busquets will hold. And now they're going to have to switch this one back. But it's taken away by Hannes Wolf. Oh, he tries to play it. Oh, and he does. That ball goes forward. Chipped. And are they going to say offside? As I'm trying to figure out exactly why they blew the whistle here. Oh, he hit the ref. So they stopped play because he hit the ref? Interesting. All right, play resumes. As NYCFC has lost momentum here. As Miami's pinned them back as they're trying to play out of danger. And there's a whistle. So this will be a free kick. As they are committed to getting numbers forward. And it looks like Frey is going to come on for Cello. And it looks like Bright's coming on as well, too. So here comes Frey. Good call. As Allen comes off for Bright. So the 2 yellow cards come off here in the 56th. Looks like we were both right there. Yeah, it's actually been a wildly entertaining second half. As play resumes. Good positioning right there. Miami comes away with it, and there's a whistle, yeah. The more that this match stays the same, the more that New York can actually get themselves in a position to equalize here. Miami should be hunting for this third goal. As here's Messi. What a drill. Oh, and Messi nearly beat his defender right there. As that'll get out. Nice little give and go right there between him and Jordi Alba. So this will be a Miami corner here. A goal here, and this one's over. Keep the pink. This ball gets played short. Alba swings it back over to Messi now. Oh, nice ball. And that's going to get out again for a corner. As it looks like Ojeda was trying to sweep this one out. Instead, tips it back out for another corner. New York nearly got out of trouble here. So Messi will have another crack at this one. As we're almost ready to go here. Messi swings one in. Headed away. Kept in by Alba. Out to Messi. Cuts in. Messi will put one on, and that's going to get over. But they're going to say it was offside. Checking in now for NYCFC, and it looks like Ojeda's coming off. And it looks like Fernandez comes on. As we restart here, here's Freeze. As there is a ball that gets played forward, but Falcone tries to clear it. New York does a good job of holding possession. Taken away. Ball. Trying to switch it to the left. And that's going to get out. As Hannes Wolf couldn't do anything to keep that in. Almost feels like it was a desperation switch right there. So we have reached the 60th minute. Miami still leads 2-1. "30 minutes remain. As Rio Novos will play it across Falcone. As New York tries to press the ball. And that'll go out. Like I believe that's going to be a Miami throw-in. As Alande got pressured. As New York will win this ball back. In a good position. But Miami's pressure. And they have to concede space all the way back to Matt Freeze. As they're going to swing this out to Hawk up the left-hand side. Good pass forward. Too heavy of a touch. As Frey mishandles it, here's Hannes Wolf. Beats his man. Here's Wolf. Plays it over to the right-hand side. Oh, good defense right there by Miami, as that one's actually going to go off of Rodriguez, and it'll get out for a corner. As Wolf played Fernandez in. Miami had that whole right side blocked off. So this will be a New York corner here. As Ruel Gustavo is at the back post, they'll play this one short. And now there's a whistle. A foul against what? Thiago Martins? Oh, yeah, for sure, as Falcone hit the deck. Terrible. Terrible. As Novo will play it all the way out to Frey off the right. Good defense by Hannes Wolf. Here's Messi. Shipped it all the way to the left. A little too far forward. That's going to get out. As looks like Jordi Alba couldn't get to it. Quick throw in here by New York, and they're going to reset. Here's Hawk. As New York is going to start the cycle over again. Into position goes Miami's press. As that's going to ricochet back out of play. So this will be a throw-in for New York. Absolutely no space whatsoever. As it looks like the Whitecaps have arrived to San Diego as they're walking into Snapdragon. Oh, what a play right there by Sergio to disrupt the passing lane right there. And look at Alande. New York gets the ball back. Here's Hernandez. And there's no whistle. Play continues. Here's Messi. Tipped away. And they're going to give Messi the call and a yellow to boot. Yeah. Yeah, no, 100% that's a 100% that's a good call, but the missed call on the opposite side. No. Like if you're gonna make the call, it's got to be even. As O'Toole gets the yellow. The Irish international. During the last window, Ireland had 2 massive wins against Hungary and Portugal to put themselves in a playoff. Good deflection by Wolf against Frey. Here comes New York. Here's Hannes Wolf. Plays it over. Here's Nico trying to find somebody. He does. Oh, what a save by Novo. He had a good runner in. By the way, you got to fire that ball into the net. That was a lazy touch right there. As Wolf makes a good forward pass, finds Nico in a good position. That ball comes over, and then you just see the touch right there by Fernandez. That ball's got to get fired into the net. You can't give Novo easy saves like that, but that'll get out for a corner here. Here we go. That ball gets whipped in, headed away. It'll be good play right here. Here comes Alande racing down the left-hand side. Alande finds Messi. Here comes Leo, finds DePaul. DePaul plays one. Here's Alba, swings into Messi. Messi. Oh, finds Silvetti. Oh, there it is. There's your winner. There's your winner in the 66th minute. Are you happy now, Ace? Well, you guys fish your wish. Miami takes a 3-1 lead. It's over. New York City missed their opportunity to equalize. They had 2 golden chances. One ringing off the crossbar, the other Fernandez just loops in an easy shot for Novo to deflect, and then off this one right here off the counter, Jordi Alba just swings it in, finds Messi. Messi just pulls Silvetti right there in the channel. There's nothing New York can do right there. Losing a track of a dude like Silvetti's going to bury it. As Miami will advance to MLS Cup, unless they fall apart, which I don't see that happening. That is your winner. Good goal by Miami, and now it's 3-1 as play is resumed. As we're approaching the 70th minute, just a little over 20 minutes remain for New York. Can they find an answer? Not with those type of flicks right there. And now Sergio Busquets will play one forward, picks out Messi, lays it off to the left, and it's Jordi Alba. Here's Messi again. Good ball movement. Taken away by New York. And there's a yellow card right there. And that'll go against Silvetti. Yeah, I think this was the accurate call here. I know that I think Ace predicted a 3-1. Yeah, I was somewhere in that 2-1, 3-1. As a matter of fact, the yellow is going to go against Rodriguez. And that's the thing. It's like, oh, that ball was nearly taken away by Silvetti. He would have had nothing but daylight right there. And now there's gonna be a whistle here. That was the opportunity. New York had it. You got to fire that ball into the net, put it in a position where you're forcing the keeper to make a save. Novo had no problem making that save. That being said, it's like congratulations to Miami. They earned it. They were the better team on the night. You can tell that they wanted it. Obviously, this team has been on a mission to get to MLS Cup. And, just the cohesiveness of how this team plays. Everybody's pulling in the same direction. The attitude's right. Here's New York now. Oh. Messi. As looks like DePaul's down. So Segovia's checking in now. And coming off is Rodriguez. And Segovia is also a pretty goddamn good player, too. Yeah, that's the thing. It's when I look at this season as I take a step back, right? Miami had an opportunity to pull a double. They got to the League Cup Final where they lost to my Sounders, and quite honestly, I think they took it kind of personal because ever since that League Cup defeat, they've been pretty goddamn good. Oh, that's a nice little tip away. Yeah, and Miami just holds it. Here's Rodrigo DePaul. And that's the thing, man. I've been actually quite impressed with their play tonight. But that being said, we saw it against Nashville. We saw it against Cincinnati. It's the concerted effort. Like in the press, they just press as a team. They run their balls off. They can kill you from so many different so many different areas of the pitch. Like even when you don't need Messi to be Messi, Alande shows up with a double in the first half, and then New York pulls one back, and for a while there, it looked like they might be able to to pull even, find the equalizer, and when they don't, Miami just comes right back and buries it, and that's it. And so from that standpoint, man, congratulations to Miami. They certainly earned it, man. Same to New York as well too. They had a fabulous season to get to this point. It was going to take a Herculean effort, but that being said, it was going to be a tall task in order to pull this one off. They had to stay switched on for a full 90 in order to get this one done. And as soon as that first goal went off, that was let's be honest, that was it too, because you're allowing a team like Miami to protect the lead, and they're not going to make it easy. So from that standpoint, once Alande buried the first one, and the quickness of which they did it, it was over. As New York will have the ball here. So we're pushing the 75th minute. About 15 minutes remain. And there's a whistle against DePaul. Yeah. Oh, 100%. 100%, Ricky. It's time for golf, huh? As NYCFC here, it's a formality. 15 minutes is a formality here because Miami is still pressing. Like they haven't taken the foot off the gas at all. They easily could. And they just refuse to. Here's Hannes Wolf. Stays with it. Yeah, there's going to be a whistle right there. And that'll go against Frey. So New York will have a free kick at the edge of the box. They might be able to pull one back. That was Rodrigo DePaul coming in. And then Frey right there finishing the job. So we are at the 75-minute mark. New York will have a free kick. Looks like it'll be Maxi Morales and Nico here standing over this one. As it'll be Segovia. It looks like maybe Silvetti holding the wall here for Miami, a little two-man wall. There's a ball to the back post. That'll be headed away. But it's Gray trying to hold it in. As that ball takes a deflection, that'll go out. Looks like it'll go off a Frey, so this will be a throw in here. As New York is moving with some intention here. Nice play right there by Frey. So good. That's the thing. Miami could have taken their foot off the gas if they wanted to. They're just good. As that ball will go out, this will be a Miami throw-in. As Silvetti just pressured Gray all the way to the end line right there, or to the touch line. Ball goes out. That's that's what I mean. We're pushing the 80th minute. They have a 2-goal lead and they're pressing hard. As there's going to be a foul there against Gray. And that'll go. Looks like that's Silvetti. In the words of the Trinity Killer, it's already over. Let's see. Inter Miami is going to win the finals. Regardless, I don't know. I don't necessarily know about that, man. I don't necessarily think that at all. I think San Diego or Vancouver is going to give them the match. As Messi now will play this one in, headed back. That one will get out off of Falcone. No, it looks like it might have actually ricocheted off of Thiago Martins right there. Because this will be a Miami corner. So it'll be Messi taking this corner as the wind is now blowing in. Here we go. Messi swings one in. It's going to hit all the way to the back, and it looked like it was Jordi Alba right there. As Bright will head one in, but it's Matt Freese. As Freese will play one long. Nice play by Falcone. Tipped in. Kept in. Here's Frey. That's actually Segovia. Nice play by Segovia. Try to flick one back. A little back heel as that one will get out. This will be a New York throw-in as we're approaching the 80th minute, so 10 minutes remain. As Miami has punched their ticket to MLS Cup. 100%. As from start to finish, they have played hard for this entire 90. They have certainly earned it. As it was going to take a Herculean effort for New York to pull this one off. They had to have been perfect, and they actually have to match the same intensity of Miami, and that was the problem. Obviously this is a very well drilled Miami team here. As New York will hold the possession. Here's Raul. As they're trying to weave this one up the right-hand side here. As it's played all the way back to Hawk here. Down to Raul off the left side. Cuts in. Alande tries to make the ball right there. But still held by Miami, still held by New York here. As now there's the switch to the right-hand side. And there's a whistle. They'll say it's against Falcone. He doesn't like it. 9 minutes left, and it looks like Suarez is coming in now as Silvetti comes off. So we will have a Suarez appearance for the final 10 minutes that are remaining here. So here comes Luis Suarez. That's the impressive thing, that they can do this without Suarez. They don't miss a beat. Silvetti had himself a very good game. Obviously, Alande, as Maxi Morales will chip one in. That's going to be headed out by Alande. And here comes Miami on the break. It's Segovia. And he has Jordi Alba running centrally. Here's Segovia. Plays it into Alba. Oh, what a goal. What a goal. What an absolute beauty of a goal. Oh. As Segovia plays it in, and it automatically plays it off the flick right there. And Segovia's in space and just buries it. It's 4-1 Miami. Oh. Oh. I think Vancouver's good enough to beat Miami. I don't know if San Diego has the stones in that type of environment as a first year team. Crazier things have happened, but that being said, man, I like Vancouver. I like the chemistry between youth and veteran presence. Plus, they also have a dude named Thomas Muller. That team is complete. That's a complete team. If there's going to be any team, that's going to challenge Miami, it's going to be Vancouver. They got to get there first, but God damn it, man. How good was that? 4-1 Miami now. As it was over when they scored 3, but that's the exclamation point. As Miami will walk on to MLS Cup, 4-1 winners over NYCFC. As that's the thing. It's like New York had their opportunity and just didn't take it. It is what it is. As there's a whistle again against Falcone. As we are approaching the 85th minute, 5 minutes remain, as there's an errant ball. Oh, nice pick by Messi. And it's Segovia off the right-hand side in traffic. And Segovia has the wherewithal to keep possession, but now there's a foul there. And that's just a frustration foul at that point. As Segovia gets pulled down right there. So Miami will have the free kick here. Just a reminder at the conclusion of this one, coming up in about 40-ish minutes, the second half of the live stream goes as San Diego hosts Vancouver. And that should be an absolute banger. It's just amazing. They're up 3 goals, still pressing the ball. As that's going to get played right off of Alande there. As Miami now will just take the ball right back. And as that ball gets played back to Falcone. And it's Jordi Alba. Here's Suarez. Here's Messi. Ooh. Deflected as that goes back. And there's a yellow. As that'll go against Bright. As New York will have the free kick as the play is restarted here. As we're 3 minutes away from the full 90. Unbelievable performance tonight by Miami, but again, We have seen this throughout the duration of this playoffs. They know exactly how to flex their muscle, and even when they don't need Messi to be Messi, they just find other ways to absolutely just slash your throat. It's going to be put it this way, it's going to be a tall task for anybody to beat Miami, but as Seattle proved, you can do it in the final if you have the right game plan, and if you stay switched on, you can beat them. As Miami holds possession, Falcone nearly missed it. Bray will hold on to possession. And now Frey will hit the deck, so there's going to be a whistle. As we are about a minute and a half away from the full 90. As they are replaying the goal by Segovia, and it was just a nifty little back flick right back to an in-cutting Segovia. Good Lord. That was pretty. It was pretty. As Miami will hold possession as this thing winds down. As Bright will play it forward. Oh, here comes Alande. Onside. There's your hat trick for Alande. In the 89th minute, it is 5-1. And you knew it was coming. This team doesn't want to win. It wants to absolutely bury you. An avalanche of goals. Holy shit. As we are 30 seconds away from the full 90, but as we see it again, as Messi hits Bright in the middle, and then, of course, Alande makes his run. It was just a beautiful ball in. Onside, beats Matt Freeze. And there's your hat trick for Alande. He finishes it off. Yep. I got to say, man, Miami, yeah, I'm not going to sit here and say they're going to win it. But that being said, it's like, when you have a team that is absolutely as a collective that are just willing to play hard to the whistle and will run. That will run essentially for a full 90. You're gonna win a lot of matches, and of course they have the talent to boot. But that's gonna do it. As Miami, there's the final whistle. As Miami beats NYCFC 5-1 today in the Eastern Conference Finals, and Miami will find themselves in MLS Cup. Unbelievable performance today from Miami, and now all of a sudden it is the winner of between San Diego and Vancouver faces this juggernaut. But that being said, it's like, man, yeah, you're absolutely right, Ricky. I mean, New York did have themselves a good run, but it was going to take a month. It was going to be a task in order to beat them. But that being said, it's like the way that Miami set out for this one, right? And just their game plan and their attack, right? They know exactly how they're going to attack, and they executed it to perfection. And it was just the way that even when you didn't need Messi to be Messi, doesn't matter. They have multiple ways they're going to be able to gut you like a fish. But the thing that impresses me, the fact that is, you're up 2 goals. It's 3-1. It's in the 70th minute, and they're still pressing the ball. They're still making a concerted effort to to create high turnovers and still try to hit you on the counter. And they did just an absolutely fantastic job. And it's awfully hard for an opposing team to actually stay committed with that and match that type of intensity. And, every single time New York tried to get the ball forward, there was 3 pink jerseys that will just converge on the ball, and it makes it awfully hard to stay composed in those type of areas. And so it's not surprising that Miami was able to do this. And by the way, like when you consider how New York came into this one, off the backs of 2 clean sheets, defensively they were absolutely resolute, and then Miami just literally just guts them like a fish. It's unbelievable. I don't know. I don't know about this. We'll find out exactly how their offseason goes, where they're going to improve, if they're going to invest in DP signings. Who knows how it's going to play out. But that being said, I will say that this is pretty much the end of the road for Miami. Obviously, Busquets and Jordi Alba are retiring after this one. They want to go out, and so far they are one step removed. Let's go ahead and take a look at the stats for this one. As it ends, NYCFC wins the possession battle 51-49%, 51-49%. Obviously, Miami wins the XG battle 2.34 to 0.44. Total shots 12 for Miami, 5 for NYCFC. Shots on target 6-4 Miami. Big chances 5-2. Big chances missed 2-1 Miami. Accurate passes, NYCFC 387 to 377. Fouls committed 21 for Miami, 19 for New York. Corners 5-2 Miami. Shots inside the box 11-5. And when you concede that type of possession and you're not committed to actually trying to press higher up the pitch, that's exactly where they're going to work in your side of the field. So 11-5 shots inside the box, shots outside the box, only 1 for Miami, none for NYCFC. Passes 442 New York, 428 Miami. Passes in the zone half 248 to 202 to New York. Passes in the opposition half 175 to 139. Accurate long balls 17-9. Accurate crosses 6-3 to Miami. Touches in the opposition box 28-9. You're not going to win too many games where you're conceding that type of possession. Yellow cards were 4-4, by the way. Defense, New York wins the tackle battle 17-14. Miami wins the interception battle 6-4. Clearances 11-9 New York. Keeper saves 3-1 to Miami. Duels. New York ends up winning the duel battle 47-39. Ground duels 45-36 to New York. Aerial duels 3-2 Miami. Successful dribbles 7-3 NYCFC. But again, it just highlights where this game was actually played then. And for Miami, it was clearly in New York's half of the pitch. And again, New York started the game off correct, which was at least try to make it a little bit difficult for Miami getting forward. And they did that for like a good 15, 20 minutes. And then for whatever reason, it stopped as soon as Alande scored that first goal off the counterattack. And then New York just said, no problem, man. You guys have the ball. We'll drop a little bit deeper, and we'll try to be defensively resolute. And it just didn't happen. Miami scores again after, I guess you could say, what I would consider a fake brouhaha. And Miami in the very next sequence, Jordi Alba finds Alande camped in the channel, open for a header. And it's 2-0. Just within a span of 5 minutes, it's 2-0 Miami. At least New York was able to get one back, and they held on quite nicely at the end of the first half, and they go into the break 2-1. And then as we're coming out into the second half, New York actually kind of controlled a little bit of the tempo, and they essentially had the first crack at trying to equalize. Alande missed a header for a hat trick. The next sequence, New York comes down in a good position off a set piece, and they clink one off the bar. It was a wide open net, chip shot into the net, and they missed the opportunity. Again, coming back down, they have another opportunity where they work the ball into a good area around the corner, and Fernandez, instead of absolutely hammering home an open net to one side of the net, he just chips it in. And Novo has an opportunity just to make an easy save, and then that was it. and then the next sequence down the pitch, Miami takes a 3-1 lead, and this thing is over. And from that point, they were able to get 2 more, and that's where we end as a 5-1 victory for Miami. So Miami is in MLS Cup in the final. They will be taking on the winner of San Diego and Vancouver. That is coming up next on Stateside Footy as the conference final doubleheader live stream will continue. I'm going to jump off real quick, and I will see you guys in about 30 to 45 minutes as we get set for Vancouver versus San Diego. So we'll see you there. Quick turnaround, and hope to see you guys there. Have a good night, guys, and I'll see you very, very, very shortly.
Rusted goalposts under fading skies.